Hello everyone. Thought I'd do a little tutorial for all of you um, on how to use Zoom's whiteboard. And what we need to do, of course, is start up your Zoom. If you don't have a Zoom account, I would get the free Zoom account, and then you can experiment with all these things I'm going to show you by simply starting your own meeting and going in and doing these things. So what I'm going to share with you is how I would share the whiteboard. So first thing, of course, I want to do is open up my Zoom. And then over here, you'll see new meeting. And if you open up a new meeting, that simply brings you into the Zoom. Nobody's joining you or anything. You're just opening up your own meeting. And so what you want to do, just like you always do when you join a meeting, join with your computer audio. I would recommend going to full screen by hitting this button here. And then the next thing, of course, we want to do is do a share screen. That's the next option. And if you notice on our share screen selections here, we do have a whiteboard. I think many of you maybe didn't even know you had this. But anyway, you have a whiteboard. You can click on the whiteboard and it highlights, and then you simply go share. And when we share, we're going to see our whiteboard. What you want to do is kind of adjust your screen around a little bit. So I'm going to get rid of my face. I know you love me, but we'll get rid of that for now. And I just put him up over here on the right-hand side. You notice that this toolbox is kind of, this is a toolbox for the whiteboard. It's kind of in the way. So what I'm going to do is simply put that all the way to the top of the screen. And then I'm going to expand my window of my whiteboard. You go to the edges and you can see I can expand. So I pull that out and I'll even expand down. So I'll pull that. So there, now I've got pretty much a full screen. I didn't want that. So go back down. I didn't mean that. By pulling it down to the bottom of the screen, of course, it opened it all up. So let's just do that. The reason I don't want to do that is so this doesn't get in the way. Otherwise, I got to keep moving it around. So anyway, I'll pull this down just a hair. All right, I'm going to show you some of these options here on this whiteboard and how to use it. So first option you see is select. We'll get to that in a minute, but the next one is text. Text, you can draw text on your screen if you want to say, for instance, you click here, I want to do a good morning, students. You can simply type right in the box, good morning, let's say class. And we can either start another text box or you can hit return. And what that does is it adds another line, just like it does in my name is Mr. Skoog. And so now we've got some text on the screen. If you click outside the text box, it just looks like I've drawn or I've typed stuff on the screen. Now, you can adjust that and manipulate the text. You can move the box around. You simply select the select button, and if you click on any part of the text, you're going to highlight the box. And with the select button selected, I can move this box anywhere around the screen that I want. I can expand it so that some of this can I can highlight my text. I can do like a backspace and I can have all of this on one line. Oops, my name is funny, Skoog. And again, I can go back to select and move that, let's say, right to the middle of the screen. So now I've got, good morning class, my name is Mr. Skoog. Again, if you highlight it and double click, it's just like Windows. You can actually highlight your complete text. And then if you notice, we have a format button here. Format allows us to change the context of the text. There's not a lot of options. You can't have a lot of different fonts, but you can live with the one you got here, and that's just fine. So I can turn italics off, for instance. I can turn bold off. I can give it a different color. We're now in red. I can change it to blue. I can change it to orange. All these different colors are available. We'll stick with black. The other thing you can, of course, do is when you have it highlighted like that, is you can change the size. You can go smaller, let's say down to 18, or you can go larger all the way up to 72. So You don't have, you know, a lot of flexibility, but there's enough to do what you need to do. And again, going back to the select button, I can move this. I can put this over here. The other nice thing is that you just don't have one option for your text. You can do another text box if you want. Let's say I want to put one over here. And I say, our assignment. And don't worry about over typing your box. You can adjust after. See how it just kind of, it's aligning to the shape of my box. Well, you can simply highlight it, going back up and changing the size so that you can fit it all in. We'll make that bigger. Let's say 24. Okay, so now I've got that text box. Again, if I select, I can take that box and move it wherever I want and change the size and the text size and everything. So that's how you work with text, and that works really sweet. Next option we see on the screen is draw, and it simply means that you can click on all these different icons, which allow you to draw different shapes and styles. You got just a simple pencil where you go here, and I can draw anything I want. I can say hi. I'm not much at mouse drawing, but some people are. Some people are pretty good. I'm good, huh? Anyway, that kind of gives you the idea, but you can draw. Let's say I want to put a circle around my name. I can draw a circle. I can point to something, you know, archaically. But what's nice with this option in draw is we have different shapes. You also have a transparency draw, so that you can draw like a transparency over some text or highlight. Let's say that you should want to highlight, not a good example, highlight Mr. and that's how you do that. So you do have that, and then you have other just random shapes like a triangle. You can, if you hold your mouse button down, you can draw a shape of a triangle anywhere on the screen. Again, the color is dependent on your color in your format. We also have arrows. Arrows are handy, especially for teachers. This is just a line, a straight line. So if you want to, you know, do an underline or move it around, or, you know, up, down, left, right, you can do that. And again, these are all movable. If you were to select the point, you can adjust or edit the point, and you can also just move it around. So that's very flexible. Again, you can change the color on the fly. You can just simply make that. Well, I guess you can't. Sorry. So anyway, it's only for the drawing. So if you want to draw it again, you're going to have to erase it. So there's that shape. Then we have an arrow. Arrows are nice. You can point to something anywhere, like my name, or you also have the little bolder arrow, bigger arrow, and we'll say, I want you to focus on our assignment. No, that's the same arrow, sorry. Got a double-edged arrow, so if I want to point from my to the triangle, I simply do that. Again, we have a box, outline box, so if I want to outline my name, I can do that. And then another shape is, this is a nice shape. It's not a solid fill. It's a square highlight. So if I wanted to highlight my, I simply go like that, and that's been highlighted. And then along with that, you have a solid one. So if I want to block out Scoog, I simply can do that. And then we have the same with your circle, with a line circle, for instance, or oval. Hang on. My thing goes out once in a while. We got that, and then we have the solids. For instance, the transparent, and these are so hard to keep right on them, or solid. Again, so those are your shapes. Kind of handy. You also have stamps. They're just standard stamps, and they're not sizable, so I don't think they are anyway. But you have an arrow. For instance, you can stamp arrows all over your screen, anywhere you want. Again, dependent on if you change it to red, it's going to be red. Oops. Maybe not. Trying to figure out how that works. Anyway, and then you have an X. Maybe they might be set. I'm thinking they are. So you got a red X, a blue arrow. You got a red heart, of course. and X, you can X things. And then we have the star, the heart, we already saw, and then a question mark, sorry. So you have those shapes, and those can also, if you select, you can select any one of the shapes and move it around. So it's very flexible. We have a spotlight thing where you can turn your pointer into a spotlight. You click on the spotlight one, and what it does is it makes the pointer a spotlight. You see the little spotlight there. So that's kind of handy for pointing attention to something. We also have an arrow that you can change your pointer into a pointing arrow, so that's handy. Eraser is important. What's nice about the eraser, you can either just click on an object and it disappears, or click on an area, or you can draw. So you can do that. So I will put some more. I'm going to put some more text here because I'm going to show you something here shortly. So you have these options, like I said, you can format and color and all the different things. And then you have undo, you have redo, so that you can bring things back. And I don't know how many back we can go. You can clear all the drawings, you can clear just your drawings, or clear the viewer's drawings. So you can be working with your students, they can also have whiteboards. The nice feature here is you can save. You can save your whiteboards. So you have two options for saving. If you go over to the right side, you see this little arrow, you click down. You can save it in just a standard ping or screenshot, or you can save it in a PDF. So you have both options. So I'm going to go to PDF because that's kind of a format, a standard format everybody uses. So you've selected it as PDF. So now you want to save it. So you go to save, it says right here, it's been saved as a PDF. You can look at the folder where it was saved, and it shows you it's been saved in your Zoom meetings, the name of the meeting, and it's in there. You'll see white box number 1. And if I click, if I'm outside and I click on that, it's going to load up the white box. That's our white box right there. So that's kind of a handy feature, especially for you teachers. I hope this is helpful. Trying to make it a little better for all of you. Anyway, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. So I'm going to move this out of the way, and I'm going to stop my share. So thanks for watching, and hope that helped. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out and ask me. See ya.